Welcome back to our channel Stoic Courts. Today we're diving into an insightful topic: Top 10 Female Weaknesses Every Man Must Know. By understanding some of the common vulnerabilities and preferences women may experience, we can build stronger, more respectful relationships. We'll explore this through a lens of Stoicism, focusing on how self-awareness, empathy, and resilience can enhance connections in all aspects of life. Remember, this is not about taking advantage of anyone's weaknesses, but rather learning how mutual understanding can lead to more balanced, harmonious relationships. Let's get started. Number 1. Emotional sensitivity. Emotional sensitivity is the heightened awareness of one's own emotions and those of others. For some, it can feel like a blessing, offering deep insight into relationships and emotions. Sensitive people can often detect subtle shifts in mood or unspoken feelings, enabling them to connect with others on a profound level. This heightened empathy can foster strong, trusting relationships as people feel understood and valued in their presence. However, emotional sensitivity can also present challenges. Sensitive individuals may feel overwhelmed in emotionally charged situations or struggle with boundaries, taking on the burdens of others without realizing it. Their emotions may feel magnified, making everyday interactions sometimes feel intense or draining. Criticism or negative comments can be particularly impactful, leading to self-doubt or overthinking. Understanding and managing emotional sensitivity requires self-awareness and self-care. Setting healthy boundaries is crucial, as it prevents emotional burnout and helps to maintain balanced relationships. Sensitive individuals benefit from recognizing their limits and honoring them, even if it means stepping away from situations that feel too overwhelming. Additionally, mindfulness practices can help in observing emotions without becoming consumed by them, creating a space for reflection before reacting. Finding healthy outlets for processing feelings, whether through journaling, art, exercise, or talking to a trusted friend, can also provide relief and clarity. Emotional sensitivity should not be seen as a weakness. Rather, it can be a powerful tool for personal and interpersonal growth. With time, emotionally sensitive people can learn to harness their deep empathy to become compassionate leaders, supportive friends, and understanding partners. Embracing sensitivity allows them to appreciate life's intricacies, to connect with others meaningfully, and to navigate complex emotions with grace. By valuing and managing their sensitivity, individuals can not only enrich their lives, but also contribute positively to the world around them, bringing empathy and insight to the forefront in a world that increasingly values emotional intelligence. Number 2. Desire for security. Desire for security is one of humanity's most powerful motivators. It drives countless decisions from where we live and work to the relationships we form and the choices we make. At its core, security provides a sense of stability and predictability, which our minds crave in a world full of uncertainties. People naturally want to feel safe, not only physically, but also emotionally and financially. This yearning for protection extends to their loved ones and communities. In personal relationships, for instance, people gravitate toward those who make them feel valued, understood, and emotionally secure. Financially, they pursue careers, investments, and saving strategies that offer a reliable income or long-term stability, protecting them against the fear of hardship or loss. Desire for security also influences societal structures, shaping laws, governments, and social norms. Governments and institutions build policies aimed at creating a safe environment for citizens, from police forces and healthcare systems to economic policies that aim to reduce poverty and inequality. In workplaces, employers strive to offer stable jobs and benefits, acknowledging that secure employees are more productive, loyal, and engaged. On a broader level, the digital age has given rise to new challenges regarding data privacy and cybersecurity. As people increasingly rely on digital platforms for communication, shopping, and personal finance, the need to feel secure online has become essential. Cybersecurity measures and privacy protections are not just technical safeguards, they're responses to our innate desire to protect ourselves in every domain. This profound need for security can also have unintended consequences. When the pursuit of safety becomes overwhelming, it can limit personal growth or foster distrust. People may avoid risks, fearing failure, and miss opportunities that could lead to growth or fulfillment. However, by understanding the root of our desire for security, we can make balanced choices that ensure safety while allowing space for exploration and resilience. This balance helps us lead fuller, more satisfying lives, recognizing that while security is essential, so too is the courage to step into the unknown when opportunities arise. Number 3. Fear of being misunderstood. The fear of being misunderstood is a deeply ingrained anxiety that many people face. It stems from the overwhelming desire to communicate effectively and connect with others, yet the underlying fear is that our words, actions, or intentions might not be received as we intend. This fear often arises from past experiences where we felt judged or misinterpreted, leaving us vulnerable and self-conscious in future interactions. It can lead to a constant internal dialogue, questioning whether we are expressing ourselves clearly enough, or if others are picking up on the subtle nuances of what we mean. This fear can manifest in various ways. People might over-explain, become overly cautious with their words, or avoid certain conversations altogether for fear of being misunderstood. At its core, the fear of being misunderstood is linked to the fear of rejection. We often crave validation and approval from others, and when we feel our communication is misunderstood, we fear that we are being judged, dismissed, or criticized. This anxiety can create a barrier between us and others, causing a sense of isolation, even in the presence of those we care about. The fear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as we retreat from vulnerability, preventing the very connection we seek. This fear is particularly common in high-stakes situations, such as in professional settings or personal relationships, where the potential consequences of misunderstanding are perceived as significant. However, it can also occur in more casual, everyday conversations. It is important to recognize that miscommunication is a natural part of human interaction, and most people are not intentionally trying to misinterpret us. By embracing vulnerability, practicing active listening, and fostering an environment of empathy, we can begin to reduce the fear of being misunderstood and build stronger, more authentic connections. Understanding that mistakes happen and that no communication is ever entirely perfect allows us to approach conversations with greater ease and confidence. Number 4. Social comparison and judgment. Social comparison is a natural human behavior where people evaluate themselves in relation to others. This process often drives self-assessment, motivating individuals to improve or adjust their behaviors and attitudes. Psychologist Leon Festinger's social comparison theory explains that people have an innate drive to understand their abilities and self-worth by measuring themselves against others. There are two main types of social comparison: upward and downward. Upward comparison happens when people compare themselves to those they perceive as more successful, skilled, or better off. This can inspire personal growth and motivation, but can also lead to negative feelings like envy or inadequacy. On the other hand, downward comparison occurs when individuals look to others they believe are less capable or fortunate. This type often enhances self-esteem, providing a boost of reassurance and positivity. However, social comparison can also lead to judgmental attitudes, both toward oneself and others. Constantly evaluating oneself against others may breed harsh self-criticism, as individuals set unattainable standards based on idealized versions of others' lives, especially on social media. It can also foster a judgmental outlook, as people may quickly label or devalue others to elevate their own self-esteem. Over time, these judgmental patterns can harm relationships and social harmony, contributing to feelings of isolation or resentment. Social comparison and judgment are intertwined with our self-concept, influencing how we view our capabilities and place within society. While moderate social comparison can be beneficial, providing insight and inspiration, excessive comparison or judgment may undermine mental well-being, fueling self-doubt anxiety, and a critical outlook. Recognizing this balance is key. By fostering self-compassion and practicing gratitude for one's unique path, individuals can cultivate a healthier approach, focusing on personal growth without the pressure of constant comparison. Understanding the impact of social comparison and judgment is vital in a world increasingly influenced by external images and standards. Practicing self-acceptance and empathy can create a more balanced, positive perspective, supporting both personal fulfillment and healthier social connections. Number 5. Overthinking and analyzing. Overthinking and analyzing can feel like a double-edged sword. On the one hand, the ability to think deeply allows us to anticipate challenges, solve problems creatively, and make informed decisions. But when thinking crosses a certain threshold, it can spiral into overthinking, where each thought becomes tangled in another. This process often creates a web of what-ifs and endless scenarios that aren't rooted in reality. Instead of bringing clarity, overthinking tends to muddy our perspective, leaving us more uncertain than when we began. Overthinkers often struggle to make decisions, fearing that each choice could lead to disaster. They analyze every potential consequence, replay past conversations, and even second-guess their own feelings. The result is a cycle of paralysis by analysis, where it becomes almost impossible to act. Ironically, this tendency to overthink is often driven by the desire for perfection and control. We want to make the right decision, but the constant weighing of pros and cons can prevent us from moving forward at all. Moreover, overthinking often goes hand in hand with self-criticism. The mind replays moments of perceived failure or embarrassment, amplifying them far beyond their actual significance. These repetitive thoughts can cause anxiety and erode self-confidence, making us feel like we're inadequate or incapable. It's a bit like staring at a small stain on a wall. The more we focus on it, the larger and more bothersome it becomes. In reality, no one else sees it the way we do. The key to overcoming overthinking lies in learning to let go and trust ourselves. This doesn't mean abandoning careful thought altogether, but recognizing when thinking becomes counterproductive. Practicing mindfulness, setting decision deadlines, and reframing negative thoughts are strategies that can help. It's about realizing that we can never control every outcome, and that's okay. By embracing uncertainty, we free ourselves from the mental clutter, making room for clarity, growth, and a more grounded approach to life. Number 6. Need for open communication. Open communication is fundamental for building trust, resolving conflicts, and fostering strong relationships, whether in personal or professional settings. It's the transparent exchange of ideas, thoughts, and feelings, which helps people understand each other more profoundly. Without open communication, misunderstandings arise, which can lead to frustration, resentment, and misinterpretation of intentions. People are more likely to feel valued and understood when they can freely express their viewpoints. In a professional setting, open communication enhances teamwork, boosts morale, and encourages collaboration. Employees who feel heard are often more motivated and committed to their roles, leading to higher productivity and overall satisfaction. Furthermore, when leaders communicate openly, they create a culture of trust that permeates the organization, where employees feel comfortable voicing their ideas and concerns. In personal relationships, open communication deepens connections and allows for a better understanding of each other's needs and expectations. It fosters empathy, as listening actively to others' perspectives enables us to see situations from their point of view. This can prevent conflicts and even strengthen the bond during disagreements, as both sides feel heard and respected. However, open communication isn't always easy. It requires active listening, patience, and a willingness to be vulnerable. Fear of criticism or rejection can prevent people from sharing openly. But when individuals overcome these barriers, the benefits are substantial. Developing an open communication culture takes practice and commitment. It involves asking questions, being open to feedback, and cultivating an environment where honesty is valued and encouraged. By embracing open communication, We create spaces where people feel safe to be themselves and engage in authentic, meaningful dialogue. This not only leads to more effective interactions but also promotes emotional well-being, as individuals feel more connected and supported. Open communication is, therefore, not just a skill, but a necessity for any thriving relationship or organization. Number 7. Perfectionism and Self-Criticism. Perfectionism and self-criticism often go hand in hand, creating a complex cycle that can impact mental health and productivity. Perfectionism is the relentless pursuit of flawlessness and an unwavering standard of achievement, where anything less than perfect feels unacceptable. For some, this drive leads to personal satisfaction, but for many, it becomes a burden. The constant pressure to meet unattainable standards can fuel self-criticism, which manifests as negative self-talk, doubt, and an inability to feel satisfied with one's own work. This self-criticism can escalate, intensifying feelings of anxiety, stress, and low self-worth. Paradoxically, the fear of failure or of not meeting these high expectations often paralyzes individuals, leading to procrastination or avoidance, which only reinforces their self-critical tendencies when they eventually confront the outcome. While self-criticism might seem like a motivator, research suggests it actually reduces resilience and creativity. When we're overly self-critical, we focus on our mistakes and shortcomings, often missing the big picture and downplaying our strengths. This can impair our ability to learn from experiences, as we become fixated on perceived failures instead of recognizing areas for growth. Additionally, perfectionism can alienate people, as perfectionists may be reluctant to ask for help or collaborate, fearing judgment or criticism. This isolation further amplifies the critical inner voice, creating a negative feedback loop that's difficult to escape. Breaking free from this cycle requires a shift toward self-compassion and a more balanced view of success and failure. Embracing the idea that mistakes are part of learning can help reframe negative thoughts and reduce self-criticism. Setting realistic goals and accepting imperfection as a natural part of growth can foster a healthier mindset. Practicing self-kindness and celebrating progress, no matter how small, can gradually replace the harsh inner dialogue with a more supportive, understanding voice. Ultimately, the journey away from perfectionism and self-criticism isn't about lowering standards but about finding peace with oneself and enjoying the process rather than being consumed by the end result. Number 8. Emotional investment in relationships. Emotional investment in relationships is the deep connection and commitment we put into the bonds we form with others, whether romantic, familial, or platonic. This investment goes beyond mere time spent together or shared experiences. It is about the energy, care, and vulnerability we offer. It involves not just showing up for someone, but being present in a way that fosters mutual understanding and support. Emotional investment can manifest in many ways: listening attentively, offering comfort during tough times, celebrating each other's successes, and providing encouragement in moments of doubt. This kind of investment helps build trust and intimacy, making relationships feel safe and secure. However, emotional investment is not always balanced. In some cases, one person may invest more emotionally than the other, leading to feelings of disappointment, resentment, or burnout. When one side of the relationship fails to reciprocate, it can create an emotional imbalance that may affect the connection's health. This is why it's important to recognize that emotional investment should be a two-way street, with both individuals contributing to the relationship's growth and stability. Furthermore, emotional investment also requires vulnerability, opening up about fears, insecurities, and desires. This willingness to share creates deeper connections, but it also exposes us to the potential of getting hurt. It's a risk that often feels worth taking because of the emotional rewards it offers, such as love, companionship, and a sense of belonging. Still, overinvestment without reciprocity can leave someone feeling drained and disconnected, underscoring the need for balance and mutual care. Ultimately, emotional investment is essential for the richness of human relationships. It requires effort, patience, and honesty, but when nurtured properly, it leads to stronger, more fulfilling bonds that are capable of withstanding life's challenges. Number 9. Fear of conflict. The fear of conflict is a pervasive emotional response that many individuals experience, often rooted in the desire for harmony and avoidance of discomfort. People who fear conflict typically shy away from disagreements or confrontations, perceiving them as threats to their personal well-being or relationships. This fear can stem from a variety of sources, including past negative experiences, a lack of communication skills, or a deep-seated belief that conflict always leads to harm. In reality, conflict is a natural part of human interaction and, when managed effectively, can foster growth, understanding, and stronger connections between people. However, for those who fear it, conflict becomes something to be avoided at all costs, often resulting in suppressed emotions, unresolved issues, and long-term dissatisfaction. The underlying fear of conflict can manifest in several ways. Some may resort to passive-aggressive behavior, indirectly expressing frustration rather than addressing it openly. Others may choose silence, withdrawing from situations where conflict might arise. In more extreme cases, individuals might go to great lengths to please others, sacrificing their own needs and desires to maintain peace. This avoidance can create a pattern where people feel unheard and unappreciated, which only exacerbates the underlying issues and fosters resentment over time. The inability to confront disagreements openly can also lead to a breakdown in trust, as one party might perceive the other as being dishonest or evasive. Overcoming the fear of conflict requires a shift in mindset. It involves recognizing that conflict itself is not inherently destructive. When approached with respect, empathy, and a willingness to listen, conflict can be an opportunity for mutual understanding and problem-solving. Developing strong communication skills, such as active listening and assertiveness, can help individuals navigate difficult conversations with confidence. By reframing conflict as a chance to strengthen relationships rather than damage them, individuals can move past their fear and engage in more authentic, fulfilling interactions. Number 10. Intuition and gut feelings. Intuition and gut feelings are powerful, often mysterious guides that help us navigate decision-making without relying on logic or rational analysis. These subconscious insights arise from our brains, processing vast amounts of information that we may not consciously notice, drawing on past experiences, patterns, and emotions. They manifest as an immediate sense of knowing or a sudden, inexplicable pull toward a particular choice, sometimes without any apparent reason or explanation. While intuition is often described as a feeling, it's rooted in the brain's ability to recognize patterns and trends based on accumulated knowledge, even if we're not consciously aware of it. Gut feelings, in particular, are tied to our body's physiological response, which can manifest as a sensation in the stomach or chest when we face a choice or challenge. This visceral reaction is often linked to the brain-gut connection, where the gut's nervous system communicates with the brain, signaling emotional and physical responses that help us react quickly to potential threats or opportunities. It's as if our bodies are finely tuned to process and respond to stimuli in ways that go beyond logic, offering us a deeper understanding of situations when we trust these feelings. While many dismiss intuition as irrational or unreliable, studies have shown that it can be remarkably accurate in certain situations, especially when a person has experience or expertise in a given field. Experts, for example, often make quick, seemingly instinctive decisions that are later validated by more deliberate analysis. However, intuition isn't infallible. It can be influenced by biases, emotions, and stress. The key is to balance intuitive feelings with thoughtful consideration, using both our instincts and intellect to guide us through life's complex decisions. By learning to trust and refine our intuition, we can tap into a powerful resource that helps us make more confident, informed choices. In conclusion, understanding the nature of human emotions and weaknesses can help build deeper empathy and more meaningful relationships. By applying the principles of Stoicism, we can learn to approach both our own vulnerabilities and those of others with wisdom, patience, and self-control. Remember, true strength lies not in trying to change others, but in understanding them and using that understanding to foster respect, growth, and harmony. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Stay wise, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.